What's up, everybody? I got a special guest today on SSC Texas TV. My boy Andrew from Houston, Texas, with one of the hottest clothing brands on the rise in Houston, Texas. How you doing, Andrew?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Thanks for the invite.
All right, all
Happy
right.
to be here.
Good. Happy to see you, man. I've been watching you on the internet, man, doing your thing, networking. I've been watching your clothing brand blow up. But before we get started, if you can't introduce yourself and tell the people how can they find you on social media platforms to check out your merch and your brand.
Okay, so I'm Andrew Rodriguez. You could check out my stuff on Red Ink. That's REDINC_713. I got the link coming up as far as like where to order from. It should be, we're launching it next week. So it's gonna be hot, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna
All
be
right,
on.
all right. If you can, man, tell the people, man, a little bit about yourself, man. Maybe where you was born and raised, a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah, I grew up in the southeast area, Broadway, and it was a little on the other side of the tracks kind of deal. I hadn't had my mom and pops, lost my pops early, same old story kind of deal. Took to the streets, that finessed me, the lifestyle, the way they dressed, the way they acted, you know what I'm saying? So, that I turned that way. And then as far as the clothing brand goes, that has a lot to do with my upbringing.
Okay.
In fact, I brought you a little something.
All
My
right.
mentor,
Appreciate
Dr.
it.
Gary Alanese, told me, you never entered a presence of royalty empty-handed.
All right, if you can show the people, man, some of your
Yeah.
work, man, because I seen it. I love it. I love it.
So everything I have has a meaning behind it. Everything from the color to the shirt to everything I have. So this right here, it's called if you can see it right there.
Yes.
That's a painting. It's a 15th century painting, and it's called Checkmate, right? And the thing about this is he was traveling all over the galleries and stuff like that. So it got to present time, and this one guy, they're talking about the devil playing a human being chess, and then the angel watching. And the guy had a question. He's like, man, I got a question. Why is it called Checkmate?
Right.
And then they were like, well, clearly because the devil won. And it said, no, it just so happened that he was the chess champion of the world at the time. Wow. And he says, I look at the board, and he still got another move.
Right.
And they're like, what? So they got the experts. They went in and they checked that board out, and he had another move. And the next move he had was the king that could checkmate. Amazing. You know what I mean? So in the front, I put, the red ink, and then I put a pawn, and I put a king. Okay. So the moral of the story is, anytime you think you're versing, you versus adversity. Anytime you wickedness and stuff like that, anything you're going through, all that's negative, man, don't forget you still got another move. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you're bleeding and breathing and all that other good stuff, you're alive, you still got another move. Right. And the reason why I put this in the beginning, I don't know if people are aware of chess, but the pawn, once you get it to the other side of the board, it upgrades you. So I want to upgrade everybody when they wear the clothing brand.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you can, man, tell us whether red ink, what do that mean? Red ink.
So I was in the penitentiary. I did 8.5 years on a 15, right? And let me tell you a story about the county real quick about this guy. I'm in the county and I'm fighting this case and stuff like that, right? And the guy, he went in there, pretty big guy, he wasn't a tank boss or nothing like that. He was real cool. So he comes up to me and he goes, hey man, if you go to the church 3 times, you get a free Bible. And I'm like, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, why you tell me, right? Yeah. So he goes, come on, man, let's go. They're calling church. And I'm like, next thing I know, I'm putting on my shoes, right? And I go down there, and he's like, hey, put your name down here, get you a free Bible. Right. Long story short, I ended up getting that free Bible, right? Okay. And I went to the penitentiary with it and let me go with it. And the first 5 years I was acting, doing the foolie. So after that, I started reading the Bible. I started reading it. And it just started bringing me back hope. You know what I'm saying? So I would read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, which is the Gospels where Jesus is talking. Yes. And when Jesus is talking, it was in red. Yes. So if you look at the Bible, it's in red ink. You know what I mean? Nice. So that's what I did. So the clothing brand is really called The Words in Red Ink. but you know, I had to jazz it up a little bit, and it's Redding for short.
Okay.
So that's where it come from, and that's why I want to bring hope to people.
Okay, that's good, man. I remember, man, when I met you, you know, you was at an event and stuff like that, man. And right off the back, man, it's like we hit it off, man.
Yeah,
You know, you know, I've been watching you really expand your business. I'm proud of you, connected and stuff like that. So, getting back to your upbringing, like you said, you did a little bit of time. What was your hardest moment, in there when you was doing time? What was the roughest moment for you?
So before I had left, I started seeing my mom's. One morning I got, I'm getting home and she's getting up. So I was living that kind of lifestyle. I was getting home at 6 in the morning. She was getting up at 6 in the morning. And when I went by her room, I seen her like at the corner, and it was kind of odd to me seeing her some. And I was looking at her, I was like, Ma, but she wouldn't even answer me. So I said, I'm gonna leave her alone. Went to sleep, got up, later on that day. And I had asked her, I'm like, man, what were you doing in the corner of the room? Like, that was weird. And she goes, I was praying. I said, you was praying? I said, what were you praying for? And she was like, I'm praying for you. And I said, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? Keep it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So years, I seen her do that, like every day and every night for the past, and then I ended up going to jail this last time. So the hardest thing for me was that last visit with her, because when she had said, we're talking, and she goes, you like it in here? And I said, hell no, I don't like it in here. She was like, do they feed you well? I'm like, nah. You comfortable in here? I'm like, no. I'm like, why are you asking that? She goes, and then why you keep leaving me?
Yeah.
Because it was only me and her. Right. So I said, man, it was hard. That visit was hard. And I had asked her, there was a couple of minutes left that you get to hug and say goodbye to your family. And so I had asked her before she left, I said, hey, Ma, you still pray? And she goes, every day and every night.
Right.
I said, you still pray for me? And she goes, every day and every night. And that just broke me. Right. It broke me. That was the hardest visit I've ever had. And it made me realize, I need to do something.
Right.
I really need to change. Right. I really need to get it in my mind to.
And what made you, as a young man growing up, what made you gravitate to the streets at first? Was it seeing stuff on TV, influence, or just pressure from the neighborhood, or just trying to see your mom or your status, just get a better life?
So my dad, when he was alive, right, and he was alive and well, he used to play ball with my brothers and sisters in the street and their friends. So he would play ball with them. He'll take them out to eat. He'll be, that he was that dad. Like, man, they go bring all your friends. We'll play football. Go bring all your friends. We'll play basketball. And he got sick. I was the last out of 9, so he never got to see me play. Right, so he had diabetes. He got blind, and I ended up taking care of him. He ended up passing away when I was 12. But since I was like 8, 7 years old, he's always been blind since I could remember. So when he had passed away, a lot of people from the street, came to me and be like, "Man, I remember your dad. He was a real good dude to us. I'm sorry you lost him. If you need anything, holla at me." Right. You know what I mean? Right. And a lot of those guys was already in the streets. Right. So I was already like friends of my brothers and older, siblings and stuff like that. And then I thought they were fly. I mean, they had the jewelry on. Right. They had the shell toes. Right. They had the gazelle shades. And I always looked up to them like older brothers too, because they was always coming by the house and stuff like that. Well, I would tell them like, man, it's just me and moms now. You know what I'm saying? If, I do need some help financially. And they couldn't, there's no welfare, so they'll put some in my hand.
Right.
And a lot of people were like, they didn't love you. They put drugs in your hand. They made you sell dope. But they don't understand that was love. Right. We just didn't know how to love.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Right. But that was love. It was genuine. Right. And that's how I love people too. When it came my time to and I love people enough to here, man, let me front you a little something. Right. Get on your feet. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I just didn't know how to love.
Got you. Okay. I mean? So getting back to your clothing line, when did you make your first piece of clothing?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the first one, and then I'm going to tell you the one that I came back to, because when I got out of jail, I wanted to do a clothing brand. Right. And I had made a shirt called "Don't Be a Prayer Hater."
Right. That's a good one.
So I did that, and I hooked up with some guys, and they're big in Houston now, but I had hooked up with him and his mom, and they had did a shirt for me. And everybody off the love just copped the shirt and stuff like that, right? But and then it was something wrong with it to where they had washed the clothes, it would rub off. And so I told them, I said, hey man, this batch was, it wasn't a good batch, whatever. And they made it good. It was all good, mad love to them. And I thought it was double hustling. I was still on parole. I was still on the leg monitor. I said, man, I'm gonna just drop it for a little while. But and then later on, like 10 years after that, I just kept thinking about it. Like I wanted to start it up again. So I got a hoodie and I got electrical tape, that black tape.
Right.
So I put red ink like on the hoodie and I put it on and I started looking in the mirror. I'm doing this. I'm putting the hoodie on. I'm flexing on them, right? Just to get a vision on what it looks like. But that was a Friday night. Then I thought to myself, who do I think I am?
Right.
And I took it off and I threw it in the closet.
Mm.
That Sunday, my mentor, Dr. Gary Alanis, he started like he never started before on a Sunday. And he comes up to the microphone and he says, you know that dream you have? He goes, you know that one that don't let you sleep, that you keep thinking about? He goes, take it out the closet and give it to the world.
Right.
And no way did he know that I had chunked it in the closet.
Amazing.
But after that, it was on and popping. I said, all right, all my ideas, everything I got, man, I'm writing them down because I may not be able to afford it, but I'm going to have them, one day. Okay. So I did a garage sale, made $300, and that was my first drop.
Oh, man, that's good. That's good. One thing I like, man, being around entrepreneurs like yourself, because, you know what it's like, to come from the streets.
Right.
You know what it's like to go against, the grain and stuff like that. And I'm glad that you're on the platform so you can show these young men that's out here right now, because they wilding right now, on a whole nother level. Like, hey, a person like you been there, done that, then seen it all. And, you're so positive. You got God in your heart, and, you building a brand. Right. So if you can tell the youth or any man, any woman, any child, if you can tell the world something right now, the people who might watch this in the future, some words of inspiration.
The best thing I could tell somebody is to find out who you are. I didn't know who I was. For years, I didn't know who I was. Who was supposed to tell you who you are but your pops? You know what I'm saying? And one time I'm in the penitentiary and I'm in the outside yard and the guard said, he told a bunch of us, about 8 of us. And he said, man, y'all get this lawnmower, y'all switch the oil out and y'all fill it up with gas and start them to make sure it works so we can ride out. Well, y'all started looking at each other like, man, you know how to do that? Man, you know how to change the oil on the So he comes back and nothing moved. So he's yelling at us, hey man, why ain't y'all get this and that? And he's yelling at us so much, this dude from Dallas said, hey man, he goes, we don't know how to do it. He goes, y'all don't know how to change the oil in a lawnmower? He goes, who supposed to teach you that? Your dad, right? None of us knew him.
Right.
He goes, I don't know my dad.
Right.
So it was hard to hear, and he kind of like, well, let me show y'all. And he started showing us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what I always stress, because for years I didn't know who I was, and other people seen it. They seen my potential. They seen that, man, you're gonna be good, you know. But I didn't see it. And until the day you start seeing it, you're gonna fall for any trick that the enemy has for you. Okay. You're gonna fall for the streets because that's what they's gonna show you. And a lot of people are great at selling drugs. Right. A lot of people are great at crime. Right. But it's only because they're great at business. Right. If they could change the business that they're in into distributing something positive or something that some people need, they could be millionaires, no problem. You know what I mean? But the only thing is, and a lot of us in Houston, like, in these areas, we're all hustlers. Everybody hustles around here. It don't matter what it is. Right. But a lot of people don't know who they are, so they fall short on themselves.
All right. So in this game, I've been seeing you like on social media and stuff. Can you tell us about some of the people that, since you've been doing your clothing brand, that you ran across, in Houston, maybe, a few rappers or something, people that you.
Yeah. So I think the first big person at the time was the mayor. Okay. And nice. I put a shirt on. I had a shirt called Houston, the place of my assignment, right? And I said, hey, excuse me, man, you mind if I talk to you for a minute? And he gave me a few ticks. And I explained to him. And he's like, man, that's a wonderful story, man. I'm honored to get it. I'm honored to wear it. Another story was Mayweather. Mayweather's senior, the dad.
Wow, I think I seen that.
Yeah, so I go to the boxing gym in Las Vegas, right? And I got a shirt called Hereditary. And I go in there and I see him. And I said, excuse me. I said, I got a gift for you. And he kind of looks at me, he goes, man, you ain't got a gift for me. You got a gift for Junior. I said, no, sir, this one's for you.
Right.
He goes, what is it? And I popped the shirt open. I said, it's called Hereditary, from generation to generation. I said, sir, you got your past just like mine. He went to jail, he got shot at, all that other stuff, right? So I said, you know what it's like to be on this end, right? I said, if it wasn't for you, it'd be no Junior. And if it wasn't for Junior, this place wouldn't be here.
Right.
And if this place wasn't here, and I showed all the kids that were hitting the speed bag, that were there, I said, all these kids would be on the street, and they would live the same way we're living. I said, I want to honor you with this gift because I want what you got.
Right.
And he goes, well, what do I got? I said, you, sir, know how to raise champions. And I come to the desert, and I give you a gift because I want what you got to raise champions. When I get back to the city, I want to start raising champions, just like you did. If you could give me that anointing, you know what I mean? And he was like, man, he blew his mind. Like, who talks like this, right? So he was like, man, you can have it. I said, I'm going to receive it. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to start raising champions. Right. So people are going to have somewhere to go. Right. And he don't know, I don't know if he knew, but the extent of meaning that meeting had, it is unbelievable.
Wow, man.
Bum B, you know what I'm saying? He's always a positive, So just a lot of some K Reno.
Yeah, I seen you with K Reno. Shout out K Reno.
Yeah, shout out K Reno, one of the guys. Big Pokey. Big Pokey is my, I didn't just tell him because I'm just like, oh man, you my favorite rapper. But after Pat died, he became my favorite at the SUC. Right. And he's just a dog. He was a dog. You know what I mean? All right. So my homeboy, he was cutting his hair. He's like, hey man, you need to get over here, bring a 3X shirt. And I said, all right, I'm on my way. And it ended up being like, no, not the sensei. I said, oh, so we chopped it up, and I'm like, man, you really about them dogs, huh? Like, so we had a good little conversation. All right. He wore it, we took a picture and stuff like that. Right. So
okay, so in this game, I'm pretty sure clothing, entertainment, and all type of things. We have some haters. Have you had anybody that try to maybe sabotage you, give you a bad name with your brand, or had to part ways in business?
It's a lot of that, which I didn't know. But I'm starting to understand that the game, in any game you're in, is just like the game in the street. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that really do want to help you out. You just got people who want to sabotage you. And then you got some people who want to talk down on you. Some people really want to uplift you and really want to see you do well and don't want nothing back. I've been noticing a lot of biting though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll drop something and that's all it like, man, that kind of looks like my joint, you know what I'm saying? But hey man, I guess it's a form of flattery. Right. Like
to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Let me start eating first and then you get the knockoffs and stuff like that. All right. But man, my wife tells me, man, your ideas, they come so quick that, man, you ain't got to worry about that. They may steal your sauce, but they don't got the ingredient. Right. So I'm like, all right, then that's cool. That always kind of like deflates me. And
with your wife, man, does she support you?
All the time.
Right.
All the time.
And I think that's a good thing that, these guys need to learn, man. Get you a good woman in your corner that support you, because they do help when they believe in that vision. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to your wife, Okay. Well, I don't know if you be watching, social media and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you what you feel about a few topics. I know you seen the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what you feel about that.
So, I got a friend of mine that he's really into it. And I ain't talked to him to the depth of it. But you know what, man? That's hip hop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I like hip hop. I always loved it. I loved hip hop when I found, that one tape. I said hip hop. Yeah. I never turned back. So I love hip hop. Okay. And battling, it was part of that. As long as it don't come to violence. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, man, let's enjoy it. Okay. She's bringing the best out of him. He's bringing the best out of them. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, what you feel about Biden and Trump? I don't know, if you're into politics or something like that, but from what you know and what you see, what do you feel about, these two individuals?
Okay, so as far as Biden goes, man, it really kind of saddens me, because, and the reason why is I know people with grandparents that have dementia. And not to be funny or not to clown or nothing like that, but they really are convinced that Biden has something, he has a condition. And if he really has a condition like that, man, they shouldn't be dragging him around the world, you know what I mean? Okay. They shouldn't be putting him in the podiums. They really should take care of that man. Have respect for the older, you know what I mean? They would know more than I do, but from what I see, it looks like there's something missing, and again, not trying to be funny or nothing like that. but you know, I want to protect who needs to be protected.
Gotcha.
You know.
Okay. What you feel about did you see when President Trump got shot, you know, when they tried to assassinate him?
Yeah,
What's your
yeah.
opinion on that?
Well, this is the thing. You know, I really found out how people feel about not just him, but about violence. Period. And I see a lot of and what I call squares. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they should have killed him. And
Oh.
it's like the thing is this. I know a lot of these squares ain't even been in a fist fight. They never been shot at. They don't know the intensity of it. And to say something that raw,
Yeah.
you don't wish death on nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even though you dislike them or you say you hate them,
Right.
you really don't mean that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what that really is.
Right.
You really don't know violence.
Right.
You really don't know what death is. You really can't see death around the corner. You really don't smell it before it comes to you. So to say that, they're just ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I mean not knowing what they're saying. So I say, Father, forgive them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want nobody dying. Like, I may not agree with everything you say, but I agree to fight for you to have the right to say it.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? We could agree, disagree, and if things get heated, I'm going to go this way for a little while. You go that way for a little while, and we still friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right, that's good. So, what do you feel like, we hear a lot about the border issues and stuff like that. So what's your opinion about how the government is going about with the border issues?
Our system was built on rebels. You know, we was a group of people in 1776, July 4th, and we went against a nation that was already built, Great Britain, and we won. We won because we had heart, we won, we had God, we won. Somewhere along the lines, we forget our values and how we won, and we're built on rebellion. So we're not going to have a perfect system here in America. Everywhere else, they know kingdom, they know principles, they know stuff like that. Here we rebel. We vote people in. You know what I mean? And it's a free country, and I love this country. My people are literally dying getting over here. But there's a pecking order to do things. You just can't, I see a lot of people going to New York and they're taking all the poor people's money and stuff like that. It's not how we do it here. Yeah. But since we're built on rebellion, we won't get it right until we, start adjusting some stuff. And am I the person to tell what should be adjusted? I'm not. But I still pray for this country. I still love this country. We're still free, in a lot of other countries. And I've been blessed to go to other countries and see how lucky we really are. Okay. That power outage that we had, we were out for, lights for a week. And man, I was going through it. Wow. But in other countries, they're like that for months, if not years. And they don't even have lights. And some of them are happier than we are. Mm-hmm. So we just got to, I just pray for this country.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna switch the speed up a little bit. We're finna get back to the clothing, man. Yeah. So if somebody were to see this video right here, if it was 3 people that you'll be honored to wear your clothing, either your nice hats or some of your gear, who would they be?
I mean, I'm gonna say Michael Jordan. I gotta say, because I a lot of his stuff that drops, I look ahead and you know what, I'm gonna make a shirt to match that. So, I know the stories about him being you know what I mean? Yeah. But it would still be an honor. Mayweather, I would love to see Mayweather in it. As far as maybe actors or Robert Downey Jr. could probably rock something like that. I'm a big fan. I got a few people that.
And what's some things that if somebody want to team up with you, what do you need? Like right now, you feel like, hey, I can use this to get me to the next level. Is it somebody that with some more manufacturing or a certain type of connections? What you think you need right now to get you on the next level?
Definitely more manufacturing. Okay. Definitely more manufacturing. Okay. Like I tell people, man, I wish I had $1 million. I swear I'd flip it to 3. Right. You know what I mean? Because it takes money to make money. And, you take losses here and there too. You know what I mean? This is just like any other game. Some stuff don't work. Some stuff works. Some stuff, So if I can get all the stuff that I want as far as because I love quality. So if I can get the material that I want, the price I want, and I got money to negotiate and stuff like that, man, it'll just be like a weight lifted on my shoulders. Right. And then we could really hit Houston the way I want to.
Nice. Have you ever had the chance to go back to the prison system to maybe speak, talk, or talk to those guys? Or
Yeah, I had went actually Thursday. I
oh,
went. Yeah, I went. I go to a few places, and I talked to a few people. There's this one young man a few years ago, and he made parole about a year ago. He started a clothing brand. He stays in Nacogdoches, and he's like, "Man, you got a clothing brand." So we're back and forth on Instagram, and I'm giving him game on what to do next and what to do. And he started a clothing brand, and he's doing well in Nacogdoches.
nice,
You know, he's still on parole and he's still doing his
nice,
thing. But what I tell people, man, have a meaning behind it. Have a meaning. Don't just do it because it's just something to do, or you think it's cool, or you think it's quick money, because it's not. But have a meaning behind it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then I went back to this time, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and start staying at this unit
Okay.
a little longer. I think I want to plant myself there so they can start seeing me more,
Nice.
start seeing me more. I want to get more in tune with these guys, because a lot of these guys, man, they're going through a program which I believe in. I believe in this. It's called an Alpha One program,
Nice.
and I kind of want to just be there. And I know if I just show my face, Thursdays and stuff like that, that they would know that it's love, and they would like tend to listen more on what I got to
Okay.
say. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, how could people reach you if they just want to donate? To, for your brand. Do you have like a certain cash app, or how can they reach you? Because some people might, be far out, or they might not want to put in some of the legwork, but they might want to donate to you. So,
Oh man, yeah, I got a cash app, but they can also DM me
okay.
as well.
Where can they DM it?
At on my Instagram, which is Ready_713. DM me. I answer all, until a point where I may not be able to, but it's still always gonna be love, and I answer everything, and as far as donations, man, I'd appreciate it, and if you could give me, a name and stuff like that, so I can, speak more back into your life.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? So
Great. How can do you ever need, like, say when you go back and visit the guys and give back to the prison system, do you ever need volunteers for anything, or?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they
Okay.
always need volunteers. And the only thing is consistency. These guys, I've been on the other end, and some people come for like a day or two and then they fall off. But some people are consistent. They
Okay.
always coming, and those are the ones that a lot of us are drawn to, because it almost feels like they didn't forget about us. They keep coming, and that's my goal. Like, I'm gonna let them know that I ain't forgot about y'all.
Gotcha.
I already hooked up with this one guy. He writes poems and he does a lot of artwork. And I told him, I said, "What do you think about seeing your artwork on the shirt in the store?"
Awesome.
And he goes, "Man, I love that. But I don't make parole for another 2 years." I said, "Yeah, but I'm already out."
Yeah, I'm already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let me see what you're working with. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? And let me see what you're working. I'll throw it on the shirt. You know, I mean, not just like
Nice.
that.
Yeah,
It's gonna have meaning, and it's gonna have
Nice.
everything. Fit the criteria that I'm looking for. But just to help out, because I know one thing: if I come back and I'm actually wearing it, shooting the pictures, hey man, it's at the store over here, and it's gonna get them to start thinking vision instead of prison.
Nice.
And if I can get them in their mind out of prison before their bodies come out, it ain't no stopping.
Nice.
It ain't no stopping.
So, man, if you can give some shout outs to some people, man, I know you deal with a lot of people, so I want to give you the chance to give some shout outs, man, show some people some recognition.
Okay, so let me shoot out first and foremost, the man that helped me change my life. His name's Dr. Gary Alanese, and he has a church 633, and it's right there in the southeast area, in front of Almeida Mall, the Macy's, right across the street. And him and his wife, they done so much for me, man. It was like he's been a father figure. He talks to me raw when needed, but that's what I need.
We all need
We
that.
all need it.
Yeah.
So it was just a different speed. My brother, I grew up with him. His name's Modesto. He has these pools that are out of sight. I ain't never, these designs on these pools are crazy. So look up Living Water, pools, and he works with people. And I tell him sometimes, I'm like, "Hey man, how much you make off of that?" He goes, "Look, I make this,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
So he's really like,
Nice.
he's really helping people out. So I'm like, man, these pools are nice. So
Okay.
also Kingdom Builders, another friend of mine, Chris. Every time, like I said, I take a loss or something like that, he's always there. And it's almost embarrassing, because it's like, man, I can't say I want anything, because he'll give it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to shoot them out. And what I love about them too is that what they do is when this storm hit, there's a lot of storm chasers that overprice you and price gouge you and stuff like that because they know you need the work. But they really still with the same price and with the same integrity and stuff like that. So if I could, I'll put some links down below to the church and to their business. And man, I just got there's at that place there's a bunch of businesses. So if I don't shoot you out, man, please charge it to my mind and not my heart, because I love every one of y'all.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, man, on your success. I see your growth. Tell the people one more time, because I'm big on promoting and let people find out who you are. Tell them how can they find you one more time. Team up with you if they want to donate. Give them your Instagram or however they can reach you.
Okay, so it's Red Ink _713, and what I want to do, I just kind of want to put a picture of. So
gotcha. Yes.
Just check me out. If y'all could check that out, y'all could DM me and just let me know what y'all think. If it's only just a congratulations or if I wish you luck, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Nice to have you on the show, brother.
No doubt. Appreciate it.